So, we are recording
in the new spots, in the new secret base,
right?
In which we keep the illegal substance. I mean, sorry, no, we don't.
Yes, we're in the new hood. We're in the new crib. My life is in shambles. And on today's episode,
someone else's life is also in shambles.
We develop a foot fetish with a kid.
Yeah, that's pretty accurate. Yeah,
we eat the licorice pizza because milfing ain't easy. On this episode of You Don't Love Jelly Robots, baby.
But apparently they love kids. That's
no. So this.
Look, dude, there's so much.
Garden
about
of Words.
This movie. Yeah,
Garden of Words.
It's a garden. It's a garden, all right.
All right, Zeke. Give me the skinny on Garden of Words.
Teacher accused of having inappropriate relationships with students doesn't go to work because of the allegations. Intern has an inappropriate relationship with another student. What's that? I mean, that's the rundown. No, so it's
come on.
It's the cow.
It's a tale of boyish emotions. Because when you're a teenage boy, your brain's all full of cum. It's all full of
Hold on. Wait a minute.
You're full of dumb, crazy, weird shit.
Hold on. No. It's full of what now?
Your brain's full of cum when you're a kid.
Are you hearing the words coming out of your mouth?
Yeah, I'm hearing exactly. I'm putting them in this order. Dude, you're thinking dumb shit.
Dumb shit. Well, look at hear what you just said.
You're thinking the dumbest shit when you're a teenager. You're falling in love with your
fair.
teachers and shit.
Well, it depends.
And this is the story of a boy, a fancy boy.
He is pretty fancy. He got them shoes on him. He got them Ricks.
He's a future Balenciaga gourmand, pal.
Oh my god!
Like this guy is. He's wearing a.
He's a shoe savant.
Scarf.
Yeah, bro.
That
He's a
scarf.
savant. He got that thing on. He got that thing on. Look. Ooh. Kanye asked him profession advice.
He looks at his nails like this. Like, yo, that guy.
That's crazy.
He's a fancy boy.
He's very fancy.
But yeah, this is the tale of our boy Takao. He's a not a normal kid. He's got some weird. He wants to be a cobbler.
He does. You ever see that Adam Sandler movie, The Cobbler?
No.
Really? It was actually pretty good. It's kind of funny. Very niche.
I'm going to let the viewers take care of you on that one, pal.
Nah, I'm an Adam Sandler stan.
I'm going to let them take
sure.
you to
Look,
the wood.
Adam Sandler is good
fine.
in any hood.
Adam Sandler's fine. You can love Adam. Adam Sandler would tell you he makes dog shit. Dog.
Hidden gems. Yeah, it's quiet now.
If you asked Adam Sandler about Jack and Jill, he would be like, "Listen, I needed to
I'm gonna keep it real. The bag was probably crazy on that one. The bag was probably crazy on that one.
Truck of money to my house.
So yeah, it's about Takao. I think this is a movie
has an absent alcoholic mother, as this movie would lead me to believe most Japanese women are. They're absent and alcoholics, and they don't like being around their kids or their jobs that much. And so his mother gets a new boyfriend. He's right on the cusp. He's 15. His brother seems to be like in that 20.
18, 19, yeah.
And his brother's like, yo, bro, I'm hitting the road. Mom's lame now.
Mom's tweaking.
Mom's new boyfriend is like 25, and I'm not cool with that.
Yeah.
I'm 20. He's 25. I remember him playing on the football team when I was in middle school. Mom's dating him now. I'm out of here.
Right. So I think
Which happens.
I think that this is a very interesting story. I think it's a story of avoidance, to be honest.
Right? Yeah, this is Takao.
Even to like the very end of the movie.
Full disclosure on this one. This one's like, I'm like, this is the full Shinkai. This is like
it has all the staples.
This thing is
nobody kissing
for a
relationship
movie,
that doesn't make much sense.
For a movie where, in most literal terms, there very little. You can't edit you can't edit the episode.
Yeah, that's our editor actually.
In this movie, not a kid meets a teacher while he's down in the dumps. She says, "Oh, you like shoes?" She gets him a book, and then she
shows him her feet.
She gives her the book. He's like, "I think I love you," and then she's like, "That I'm your teacher," and the movie ends. And
no,
effectively. But there's not really a lot that happens, and yet I am gripping. I am gripping my seat.
Hold on, Nick. What about the scene where it's raining, She takes a young kid who has expressed feelings for her to her house. They have
you're
dinner.
Let's go through this.
Okay, all right.
Takau's being abandoned. He's soft abandoned in the way that a lot of us were. Not like anyone said, fuck you, Takao, you suck. It's just his mom's like, dude, my boyfriend drives a fucking Mazda 3. It's sick.
A Mazda Speed 3.
It's sick, dude. It's fucking nasty on the curves. I'm gonna hang with him. And his brother's like, dude, I just found out what like weed and alcohol are, so like I love playing video games with you, but I'm out of here. And he, rightfully so, he's taken an interest in shoes, and like anyone who takes an interest in like kind of an esoteric thing, you know, like,
what does esoteric mean?
Yeah, just like it's just kind of like needlessly like you're into the basket weaving because of the complexity of it. Because it's like, yeah, it would be easier to just buy like a simpler basket,
like niche.
Yeah, it's like you're into it because it's like not super efficient almost. It's like you're not trying to.
Interesting. Into it because it's not super efficient.
Yeah, like jewelry and stuff like that. It's like it's just like it doesn't do things, but we wear it because it's like it's doing meaningless stuff that we. It's like the.
Well, I guess it's like
I think
it's different when it comes to stuff like jewelry because it's like akin to tattoos, because I'm into watches, and the reason I like watches is like a piece of art you can wear, right? So I think it might be the same way for the shoes that he makes.
Anyone who's wearing a watch, it's like your phone keeps better time.
Well, that's not why people wear watches.
To keep time?
I mean, some people do, but people who are into watches, like people who are obsessed with watches, it's like a piece of art you can wear on your wrist. And if you know the history behind each watch, it's like it's telling a story. So maybe it's the same thing when he's making his shoes.
But the pretending that the watch is utilitarian. That's
utilitarian.
That there's utility to the watch. It's a piece of jewelry. It's a piece of art. It's like it's a.
But I think
it's like wearing a hat with a feather in it.
Yeah, but I think that in terms is the point. Where it's like people wear shirts because they think they're cool. That's literally a piece of art you wear. So it's like
we're all not being Zuckerberg's like gray shirt, blue pants every day.
I wouldn't say it's not. There's no use. I think there's no practical use. I will say that, right? But
most of what we do though is like that. I mean, everyone has like little. You put on your aftershave and you go.
No, there's
and it's like that's like that. It's like what does that mean?
Hold on, there's a use for that because you don't put aftershave on, you start getting bumps.
But I'm saying I do 5 pats and then I point in the mirror and I say like ka-chow, and it's
what's this, Ferris Bueller?
But I'm saying it's like that thing that you do. It's like there's no reason. I just do it. It's like my thing. I don't know.
Okay.
It's
I get what you mean.
Yeah, it's the meaningless like minutia of what separates things, and so he's like, I'm getting into. Because shoes are like, why would you not just go to Walmart and buy some $10 Vans knockoffs?
Because he wants that Rick, bro. He wants the Rick Owens. He wants some weird red boots that you can't get off of your foot.
And when you start getting into something to I almost want to say a pornographic degree.
Well,
like when you get like really into something, I'd say there's almost anything that if you really get into it, you're not into it until you're into it to a level that normal people think is strange.
Can I ask a question? Do you think that maybe Takao went fully into the shoe thing as another way to avoid what was going on in his home life?
I don't know.
Well, because you hear stories about a lot of people who like people get into video games because it's like the world around them they don't like, or people get into like reading because the world around them is like crazy, and it's like. I think that things that people get into, especially to an obsessive level, sometimes is used as an escape from other things they don't want to deal with.
Yeah, I think like
because you can't say that's not true.
You can do that, but I don't know.
You don't think that's the case here?
I'm not gonna say that's not the case because I have a bad habit of projecting my feelings onto other people.
No,
but for me, I think a lot of people think art is way deeper than it is. And I say that as a guy who like I make music, I make occasionally 3. A lot of times it's like bleeps and bloops sound fun, man. It's like fun. It's like funny sometimes. Sometimes it's hysterical. Sometimes you're just making like a stupid joke.
But what if
sometimes you're just playing slapdick with your friends and it gets out of hand and then you're like make a podcast.
Wait, that is not what happened. Don't listen to him.
You're just playing slapdick with your homies?
That is not how this happened. That is not how that.
But I'm saying, like, it's like, if someone said, "Do you think Nick and Zeke felt like there was male generational trauma in the world, and they needed to like counteract that with like a pot. I'm like, I don't feel like when people are doing things like this, they're thinking like shit like that.
So I think there's duality to it, right?
But yes, I can see the escapism of like, well, I don't got my mom and I got my brother, I got my shoes. So.
Yeah, but it's like, and now he has his teacher.
Okay, so yes, enter Yukino. So he's taken to sketching, he's taken to drawing, and other than like your first 1,000 drawings are embarrassing, literally embarrassing.
Yeah,
literally like I don't want to even show someone this in a how far I've come kind of way. It's like your first 1,000. I tried to get into gesture drawing and shit.
You did? Wait, so you got a drawing and you're just not
you can try get it, whatever you try to get into. Your first year on guitar, you sound like dog shit. Not even in a like, oh, it's impressive you're playing Mariana. No, in
like a what 7-year-old recorded this?
In like a literally like it's embarrassing. It's like your first year learning to play flute or trombone or violin is like, I'm gonna practice this in a field with no one within like miles of me.
Yeah.
Because I'm aware that this is like an embarrassing, annoying, stupid looking thing until it gets good. Now the homie can draw shoes, but the problem is when you're going down that creative path, you don't know when you get good enough to not be embarrassing.
Because you're your own worst critic.
Because he's looking at like fucking people working for Gucci or whatever, and he's like, oh, fuck, I'm never gonna work for Nike. Fuck. And it's like, but he doesn't realize he's gonna get good. But he's being an aloof motherfucker. And men, I come down on these movies a lot.
Why?
For beautiful women falling into guys' laps.
That's never happened to you?
If you are
he didn't answer the question.
An aloof
he didn't
guy,
answer the question. You see how he avoided the question?
If you are a mysteriously well-dressed dude in the park drawing sketches of shoes that you're going to make,
they probably think you're on a list.
No. The women will fall into your lap. That is exactly this was the one movie where I was like, no, that is exactly the kind of guy.
Like the artistic, good, like well-dressed dude, just being aloof by himself. Women are just so that's you.
You walk by.
Wait. The movie's about you.
No,
the movie's about you.
That.
See, I imagine this man was like learning how to draw. He's in a park, his hair flowing in the wind. He got his dress.
Nah, bro. I was trying to draw dog skeletons. That was my thing. I really wanted to be like, I want to get really good at animating dogs. That was my shit.
Really?
But I'm saying if I walked by and I saw like a photorealistic shoe some motherfucker was drawing, I'd be like, that guy's either a murderer.
He's
cool as shit.
You got the opposite of Kira from part 4 of JoJo.
It's like, dude, you know who else loves feet? Like Jeffrey Dahmer. Quentin Tarantino.
Dude, so
like cool motherfuckers. No,
but when I saw the scene where she takes her shoe off so he can measure her foot, I'm like, this is giving so much Tarantino. He probably loved this movie so much.
Tarantino
ate that scene up, bro. It's like in an interview, Shinkai's like, so I actually called Tarantino as reference to see how I can, really just put what I need to into the scene.
Yeah, Tarantino had to fucking watch this one in sweatpants. But
oh my gosh.
Yeah, so this kid's sitting in the park, he's sketching a shoe, and this woman comes up to him drinking a beer, which is the right kind of woman you want to be talking to. Is a woman who's got a beer in public during the daylight hours.
Well, it's specifically weird in Japan because you're not really supposed to eat and drink, or drink and walk at the same time, or eat and walk at the same time. And also, alcohol's not allowed in most parks there. So yeah, it's very odd. Very odd behavior.
Very cool chick.
Culturally, yeah. She doesn't care about the rules. The rules are optional.
You see a woman drinking a beer in daylight hours, walking around. It's like, ma'am, I'm sorry, you're super cool. Did you ride in on a skateboard? Like, what's going on here?
No, I get you.
And she's just like, oh, this guy's drawing nice. If I saw, how can you see someone drawing like a photorealistic shoe and not be like, it's a nice ass shoe, bro?
Well, if you're a Hall of Fame hater like me, then you'd be like, yeah, that's all right. I'd do better though if I was famous.
I would have rendered a shoe.
Yeah, I would have rendered a shoe in Unity, remade it in Vulkan,
kit bashed better fucking.
No, but yeah, it was cool. It was a cool scene.
Oh, it was kit bashed laces, bro. Fake Jordans.
Oh my gosh.
But yeah, so Yukino comes up to him and she's like, "Nice shoe, motherfucker."
Yeah,
and
then,
he's this poetic ass nigga. He's like, "Well, I try to only come here when it's raining."
I forget exactly what he said, but he said something, and then he said something else that was like kind of deep. And then like their last interaction, she leaves, and the last thing she says before she walks away is some type of like poem, some type of literature poem, and then just walks away.
Yeah, she hits him with like a haiku. She's like, the faint sound of thunder clapping, raindrops on the ground. I awaken. We see each other. Goodbye.
Yeah,
like some weird shit,
bro. And then like when she said that, I'm like, wait, is this a movie about schizophrenia? What's going on here? Like it was definitely odd. And then
when she walks up and she's like, "What are you doing here?" and he's like, "Well, I just come here when the thunder and the rain because it's so beautiful and blah blah." I was just like, "Pussy's gonna hit this nigga in the face like a flying newspaper." This guy is the suavest. Like,
how is that suave? Like, you gotta explain that to me. I don't get it.
He's just being so cryptic. It's like,
is that what it is? Is that what gets?
It's like, this
wouldn't
work on me, but I'm like, this would work on a regular person. This kid, he's got his fucking scarf.
This man, so essentially what Nick is saying is, if you're dumb, this will work for you. That's what he's saying.
I'm saying, like, I'm saying this kid's got game. I'm saying, like,
but maybe it's not him having game. It's just
he's
him being
pulling women 12 years older than him, and I'm like, honestly, like, the way he acting,
you gotta respect it. You gotta respect it.
I can see why. This kid's weird. He's like a weird, clever.
So
like,
wait, weird and clever is that's the way.
That's what they want.
That's the new meta. That's the new update.
Yeah, I guess.
Oh my gosh.
Rest in peace to Shutterstock guy.
What's that?
Oh God, I don't even want to get it. There were the Twitterites were trading a picture of an average man around, and the women were being absolutely monsters about it.
Oh gosh, I don't even want to know.
Saying that I'm not going to be a 3D printer for an ugly man's baby. And I'm like, oh, that's a mean thing to say.
Damn.
Oh, that's something. That's something that someone thinks about before they go to bed at night. Oh, don't say stuff like that.
They'll still say it though.
They will.
So
and mean it. And so she sees this kid. They end up developing a friendship. They come back. She's like, "So you come here whenever it rains, huh?" And he's like, "Yep, sure do." And then so now it's
poetically,
like,
the rainy season ended 4 days before we thought it would. No, 10 days before we thought it would. There's been no more rain, and it's like,
well, they come, they meet, they come back, they meet. We start to learn about Yukina in between.
Oh, well, what about how she like can't taste anything except for beer and chocolate?
Yeah.
Oh wait, hold on. Before that, you know how weird it is to have a scene in a movie where it's an adult talking to a kid, then the adult just pulls candy out of their bag and is like, "Hey, you want some?"
Right?
That's crazy.
Literally stranger with candy moment.
I saw that scene and my immediate thought was, "There's no way."
Wouldn't get an American kid with that.
Well,
not. Well, you probably would.
Yeah, but it was definitely odd. Like that scene, I saw that scene and like all the thoughts that could have gone through my head were going through my head. You want me to
Sorry.
She's confused.
Yeah, I know she's being a little weirdo. Yeah, we find out that Yukina's got a diminished sense of flavor.
Yeah, and then she's talking to, I think, a coworker on the phone or a doctor.
And we find out that she knows Mr. Itao, who we then learn is a teacher.
Yes.
We then learn Yukino is a teacher.
Yes.
We learn her age.
27.
And hard cut to people calling her a slut.
Yes!
And an old hag.
Oh my gosh. It was crazy. Because that switch was crazy. Because, like, first you figure out she works at a school, and then it just is like, yeah, she's a slut. She wanted to have sex with this one chick's boyfriend. And you're just sitting there, you're like, oh my gosh.
You're like, what is the, how you
20 minutes in,
these
20
people?
Minutes in, they dropping a bomb on us.
You're not going to and what happens as a result of that? The next thing, our nigga Takao hits a woman. He's like,
oh yeah, he did.
Your mouth, that's my chick.
Bro, nigga turned into Miles Bridges mid-movie, bro.
What is going on?
And then all the dudes there just beat him up. He just get jumps.
Then Johnny Red Shirt shows up and he's like, I don't think you know who the main character of this movie is, pal.
Like, bro, it's like that scene in was it Office? Have you seen Office Space?
You keep referencing Office Space.
But have you seen it though? Do you know what scene I'm talking about?
Yeah.
Where they're smashing the printer. Takao's the printer essentially. Oh my gosh.
You're banned from referencing the printer.
It's a good scene. It's a good scene. You can't look me in my face and tell me that's not a cold scene. Bang, bang, bang.
You're talking about Taiwan in the League of Legends servers, pal. No.
Okay, so back on topic. So I think a day or two goes by and it's raining again, and they meet each other in the park. The nigga's cut up. He got punches all over his face, whatever. She's like, "What happened?" He's like, "Oh, I fell."
This is
hard.
the moment. This is the moment these characters become complicated.
Well, okay, so she quits her job because of the allegations. That's one thing. He hears about it, and then he confronts that girl, punches her in the face, and gets jumped. And then he meets the lady again in the park. And what do you? And the rain gets crazy. The rain gets terrestrial.
Hillary Duff levels of rain.
And what happens next, Nick? What is the logical thing to do as a teacher who's been accused of having inappropriate relationships with a student? What's the logical thing to do next?
You have a loving embrace, preferably on camera, and you squeeze them and you tell them that you love them. And then you invite him back to your crib.
Yeah, obviously.
Maybe offer him a beer.
That's what I'm saying. Would you not do the same thing? Is that not
my
the
fridge? I just have water and wine coolers.
Yeah, that's it. You just take one, whatever you want.
It's just,
and then you just make a great dinner. You know, eat together. You talk.
Weird vibes on this one.
Weird vibes.
Weird
vibes. With Michael
amazing.
Jackson vibes.
This movie is amazing. I am guessing it every second. There is no supernatural stuff going on. This is purely...
I think the supernatural part of it is the fact that she didn't get arrested.
This is purely slice of life, and this is the best kind of slice of life, because I'm like, this is...
So have you ever seen Domestic Girlfriend?
No.
If you like stuff, like if you like this, you would love Domestic Girlfriend.
I
Like,
see.
first episode, dog, you're sitting there like, hold on, what just happened? Mm-hmm. Second episode, you're like, and it's like continuous until like episode 5. Then you kind of, it's not stagnant, but it's not as crazy. But Domestic Girlfriend for sure gives off the same vibe.
Yeah, I was. After you hit a woman, I'm like, this guy's a loose cannon. This guy's living on the edge. This guy might zig when I expect him to zag.
He's like Yusuke.
Yeah,
Or imagine he's like, man, woman, child, I don't care. I'll punch anybody. I'm like, hey, man, the man's ready to eat.
Absolutely, Josuke calling his mom a bitch moment. Like,
Josuke?
Jotaro, sorry.
Jotaro.
I would never slander Josuke.
I was thinking of Yusuke.
Josuke's a good boy.
Josuke is a good boy.
But Jotaro, yes, when Jotaro just,
bro, I remember,
shut up,
like,
bitch.
Episode 1, I was like, oh, hey, yo. And then you hear Joseph's like, he's like, you just let him talk to you like that? She's like, oh, Jotaro. I'm like, are you kidding me, bro?
This guy.
Kidding me? I wouldn't have made it to the next day.
This guy's got layers. This guy's got things going on.
But I think, and then at the end of the movie, what happens after that? He's leaving her house, and then...
So he's leaving her house. They're barefoot in the rain. It is... Oh. Yeah, it's completely wet. It's completely moist. They're moist. What? I'm moist.
What?
The inside of their mouths are moist.
No.
Takao starts to run out.
What?
And he tells he runs.
What did he say? I forget what he said before he walked out.
He walks. He just says something like,
"See you around" or something like that.
Should I change my clothing here? And she's like, "You can." And he's like,
No,
I can't get this boner out here. It's gonna get out of hand. I gotta get out of here. I gotta get out of here. And he just he's like, I'm gonna go home.
Not what he said.
He's like, I'm gonna go home. I'm getting uncomfortable. I gotta go home. And he starts to leave. He goes out the door. The door slams. And
for about 30 seconds,
Shinkai hits us with that guitar chord. That
you know each Kanoto. You know each Kanoto. It's like one of them. It's like
Yukino rises to her feet. She's like, I can't let this kid get out of here. Thinking,
wait, hold on,
I'm a weirdo.
What? Nah, that's a crazy statement. He's like, I can't let this kid get out. That's crazy.
Well, she's just like, I can't have my weird. Well, before all of this, Yukino has a moment where she's like soft. It's the weird relationship teachers have with their students.
I will say,
where she buys him a book. Because keep in mind, Takao's 15. He's broke.
He's 15. Yeah,
he's got 15-year-old money. She buys him, let's say, a shoe design book that, like, let's assume it's actually like a book you would get in a fashion school. So, like, it's like probably like a $200 book. $200-$300 book or some shit. And Yukino buys it for him. We get a glimpse of her apartment. It's like beer cans everywhere. Her life is in shambles. She doesn't know what she's doing with herself. Everyone keeps calling her old.
Well,
everyone keeps calling her a hag.
There's a scene where she's sitting by herself when it's not raining anymore, and she goes to the park by herself, and she comes to that thought where she's like, man, I haven't changed in 10 years. I'm the exact same person.
She says 12 years.
12 years? That's what it was, 12 years.
Yeah. She's like, I don't think I'm smarter than I was 12 years ago, which is a dangerous thing.
I'll be honest.
To say.
Some of these decisions I'm seeing in this movie, she might be right. She might be right.
Dangerous thing to say in a movie like this, but Weird Vibes, respect it. Cool. Keep us on edge, Shinkai. More of this.
Keep me on the edge of the phone when I'm calling the cops.
Keep everyone in the room just like looking around. Just
is anybody?
Is this gonna like? We're all watching the hands, right? We're all making sure where everyone's hands are at all times.
So
right?
so then she runs out to see Takao. Thinks he's gone.
She runs out to a fucking guitar swell to intercept.
No shoes on, mind you. Shoeless, barefoot in the rain, slips and almost falls off the stairs.
There's Japanese people skanking on the guitar. It's a funk. It's a funk. Whatever. It's the muted like quickly plucked up strokes. Okay. There's people jammering on the music. The music hits. This is the precursor.
I think it's the best music so far.
When there's a thing that happens in the next movie.
What's the next movie?
Your Name. Where a song hits, maybe it's called Dream Lantern.
I cried.
Maybe it is, maybe it's not. But there's a thing in the next Shinkai movie where you're like, oh, this was the prototype right here. Because when Yukino goes running out that door and that music starts,
swells, yeah, I'm like, oh my god!
I'm standing on the couch. I'm screaming at the TV. Blue in the face, screaming at the TV, yelling at my girlfriend.
Oh my god.
We're watching this on my laptop. She's let the battery go below 20%, permanently affecting its ability to hold charge in the future.
This is so hyper specific. What the
I set it in settings to not let it go beneath that, to shut off violently at 30% and never charge above 65%.
What is going on here?
I need battery health. I need infinite battery health. This laptop needs to last till I die.
Just replace the battery. It's not even that difficult.
The music is awesome.
Oh my god. Yeah, the music was good. I'll say Children Who Chase Lost Voices has the best music so far, but this is a close second.
This is the best one for me. I'm
really
like,
of all of them, or the ones we've seen
I'm
so
about
far?
to bop the ending soundtrack of this fucking movie on my fucking phone.
I'll be darned. You gonna learn it?
Maybe. You know, if I'm not too huffed out on meth.
What?
If I'm not overspraying silver spray paint into a sock and then putting it over my mouth and inhaling until I see my dead relatives.
He's making it worse. I didn't think it could be worse. He's making it worse.
But yeah, This is the movie to me where Shinkai started to just nail his musical cues, because I like every beat of this movie. I'm feeling.
I think
I'm putting in his hands.
I think the timing of the music specifically was a lot better in this movie, especially in the beginning. You hear, I don't know what the soundtrack is, but you hear it in the beginning and you hear it kind of in the middle too, and you're like, oh, okay, this is actually distinct music. It's not just like, music I'm gonna forget in 5 minutes.
Yeah, and so we get this impassioned plea of love. She runs up to Takao, and Takao, like a fucking 15-year-old angst,
staring at into the distance.
I always hated you, really, and
that was bro.
You were always like lame.
Niggas fighting the tears back. Niggas fighting the tears back. He's pushing down. He's pushing down.
It's so fucking. It should be illegal. It should be illegal to record men in this state. It should be. It's as messed up as like revenge porn on women is to record men.
That's not a crazy thing to say. That's not a crazy thing to say.
To record men in this
yeah.
panicky emotional state this is the most vile thing you can do.
No, I'm gonna be honest. Yeah, he's right. He's right. They should have had this movie rated R for that scene.
You're not really that hot.
You know what? You were ugly anyways.
I didn't have a good time at Disneyland, and I didn't want to see. It's just.
But it's like that childlike a plea of emotion where you're just crying uncontrollably, and you're doing the huffing, you're the oh my gosh, bro. Yeah, it's definitely emotional. And then she just ignoring everything he says, just goes in for a hug, and they just embrace.
All right, how can you say no to that? Shatter you like glass, bro. Like a hug from Yukino. That alcoholic's breath, rub it like way in heavy.
The smell of beer just washes over you.
Ooh, and then the embrace, reminding you of your alcoholic mommy, big mommy.
Oh my gosh!
I want big mommy hug boyfriend now, but mommy not hug me. And now you've got, and it's like, oh my god! I was like, you can't. Takao is powerless. Nigga is powerless.
Hold on.
The defenses have been breached.
No,
the Huns
we're
are
not moving past
that.
What just happened? What just happened?
Shinkai knows what is going on.
We're not talking about Shinkai right now. What was that?
But you don't see Takao falling in love with this woman who is his mother?
Sigmund Freud would have a field day with this episode.
Because they say in the movie Takao's mom got pregnant at like 15 or some shit like that. Because they're like, Takao's got like a hot young mom.
The nigga's like, I got next.
Everyone's like, yo, Takao's mom is like, she's like a hot young mom. Like his brother's like 20. She's like 35. She's dating like a 25-year-old guy, and Takao's like 15. So it's like there's like a 5-year separation. This woman's 27. So I'm getting tons of big mommy vibes. And you know what?
I didn't even think about that.
I think the Pornhub search history would be on would vindicate me on this.
2013. You see the search number just spike.
Big mommy fucking crazy shit.
Oh my god,
insane.
I didn't think about that.
And Lady Demetresque and Resident Evil 7 and all that shit.
Like that fact just makes it even weirder. The fact that because I didn't think about that till just now, and now I'm like, oh gosh.
Nah, Shinkai was fucking. He put his whole pussy into
He gotta
this
have
one.
mommy issues, bro. There's no way.
He fucking snapped on. He cracked. This is the fucking. What was it? The elevator conversation in 5 centimeters per second.
Oh.
When he's like, the guy was just sitting there and he was thinking, he's like, and I was just thinking, like, maybe we should, like, I don't know, I'm happy, but I guess, like, maybe, well, why didn't I message her? And I'm like, oh, Shinkai every now and then, he just, like, cracks into
you start to see some formulation of a thought being conveyed in the movie.
He cracks into the exact way that, like, we trick ourselves into doing things. Like, Sigmund Freud would have said 5 years into Takada, like, he would have looked at Takada and be like, oh, this kid's an alcoholic mother abandoned him. He's going to seek out, like, he's going to seek out a woman who's going to, like, do his laundry for him and cut the crust off his PB&Js and fucking, and it's like, it's all obvious. And of course the alcohol is a trigger for him. And of course, like she is full bore into his passion. She's giving him the support, the maternal support that you want your mom to give you, especially in these forms.
You know what?
There's so much of it where it's like, it's obvious, dude.
Hold on.
She mind gamed you.
You know what's crazy? You know what's crazy? The craziest part of this whole thing? In the movie, you don't hear his mom talk about his shoe thing once. She buys this nigga a whole $200 book.
Every sentence his mom says to him is about her boyfriend. She's like, my boyfriend's like super cool. I'm going to be staying with him.
Nick.
You can like pop by. Nick. And Takao's like, I need some time. Takao needs Takao time right now. And then he meets alcoholic mommy.
Nick, I'm going to watch this movie again and it's going to have such a different because I didn't think about that point until you just said it. That's like the biggest part of the movie.
We're getting Sigmund Freud. Sigmund Freud is howling in his grave right now.
This nigga is putting up a triple-double right now.
He's like, we're all just trying to bang our moms and dads.
Hold on.
And it's not true, but for some people it is.
I was like, wait a minute.
For some people, for some weird reason, it is.
Yeah, it's because like looking at it from that perspective, you start to realize so many different things.
He wants a mom. He doesn't. Yukino sits so perfectly in that weird mentor girlfriend mommy
even at
sector.
The end of the. So did you keep watching after the credits?
Yeah.
Okay.
Oh, you saw Ant-Man and the Wasp. Like,
no, but
at the shawarma place with Thor.
And he's talking about where he went to college and he still keeps in touch with her and they message back and forth every now and again. It's like, that's the motherly validation that he doesn't get from his own mom. So maybe it's not a romantic relationship.
It's a mentorship. But as a teenager, like a dumb teenager, because I don't think Yukino was ever like, I'm a bone this kid.
No.
I don't think she thought that for a second. I think the whole misinterpretation in this movie is on Takao. I think that's why he's crying at the end. That's why he's yelling at her. And Yukino, I think her realization is like, Takao's too much of a stupid boy to like realize what's going on right now. And I need to like kind of give him the motherly hug and the closure of this so that he can like get all this fucking cum out of his brain.
What?
And fucking chill out.
Something I did think about, right? I thought about this a lot throughout the movie, especially the part where it gets to the part where they were talking about how the one girl's boyfriend had a crush on Yukino, right? Your emotions have nothing to do with the other person. So getting angry or having some type of reaction without reciprocating is somewhat selfish, right? And it's like you see that a lot in this movie where it's like, you see it with the boyfriend who, you know, started having a crush on that chick, and then his girlfriend got mad, but it's like, it's not her fault, but she's the one that's being affected by it, where it's like, you understand that that's selfish. But then when you think about it like this, where it's like, people who like someone, that person doesn't like them back, and they get mad or sad about it, but it's like, in that situation, you can't see that selfish, but in this one, you can. And it's just very interesting how it just makes you think about that.
Yeah, when you're a kid, you form relationships when you're greedy and selfish, and
that's true.
You just want you just think me. How do I get me? Everyone is just a fucking checker piece on the board to be moved so that I can feel like I'm important and I'm special and I have value and I have worth. And it's weird because Takao is a rare one in that he's actually genuinely talented in a way that a lot of people have to like have hammered into them. Like a lot of people, it's like, oh, well, I had to have the gun of poverty put to the back of my head before I realized that I was actually pretty good at doing ice sculptures at weddings or something. But Takao is like
of poverty.
But
I'm stealing that.
Takao's the one where he's like, no, I just like making shoes. Like I just think they're neat. And it's. I think that is why Yukino is so like enamored with him, but like in a purely mentor way, in the way that teachers like, in the way that a coach will see like a 12-year-old boy throw a football like a perfect spiral 80-yard pass, and he'll say some shit where you'll be like, you sound like you want to fuck that kid, but I get it. You're just
what?
You're like, oh what? Jesus Christ, the meat on that boy. He's going to be an animal, a perfect skeleton, perfect musculature. God, what I would do to have a body like that. And it's like, I get it, dude, because I've met coaches who talk like this. But if
that
people
sounds weird.
But if people didn't know that, like, every coach who's scouting, like, middle schoolers talks like this, you guys would be in a concrete bunker with no light coming into it.
Yeah.
Because it sounds weird, but it is like, no,
weird.
when you're like, it's like judging racehorse type shit. When you see people scouting talent for sports, the
language they use is very interesting.
They get pornographic about it in a way. And I feel like that's Takao with these shoes, and like the teacher Yukino recognizes that in Takao. She's like, this is gonna be a scarf wearing fancy boy one day.
So do you think that
I gotta cultivate that? And I think she freaks out at the idea that
because people make such a connection between sexuality and passion,
well,
it can be confusing. People are talking about certain things certain ways.
I don't know. This is dicey stuff because we swing in a pendulum between people being sexually nervous of assuming everyone assumes everyone's like a child molester or a rapist now. And it's like, guys, the rape numbers have definitely gone down since everyone has a phone on them and everyone has a camera and everyone can dial 911. It's like whatever the numbers were 100 years ago, it's definitely better.
It depends on what part of the world.
The numbers are definitely the lowest they've ever been.
Yeah.
I don't think you have to dig into much history to like realize it's like, guys, the numbers are the lowest they've ever been.
But I think it's
you can get me, and I'm not saying the numbers are at a good place.
The point that I'm
but
making,
people are scared, and people over-index on it. It turns into like satanic panic in the 90s, where it's like, don't leave your kids at a daycare because they might teach your kids to become Satanists at this daycare.
No, that's true.
They're going to use Harry Potter and Pokemon and Digimon and Yu-Gi-Oh! To turn your kid into a Satanist.
Do you think it's the same thing going on?
Yeah, dude, everyone's super sexualized in this country in a weird way. Like, everyone's constantly...
do you think that because of, like, the over-sexualization of things nowadays, when people are talking about things passionately, people can misconstrue that and be like, oh, this is sexual. And it's like, well, no. Hold on.
Yeah, I don't... Okay, so here's what I think it is there's a weird... And I think Euphoria, the show, put this on blast.
That, bro, oh my gosh.
There's a weird fascination with things that, drug culture's kind of in this area right now with, like, mushrooms, where there's a lot of people who would, like, never do mushrooms, but really are into, like, looking, like, researching them and looking into them.
Yeah.
And now you got all these people who are like, I'm a sex guru. I'm a therapeutic sexpert.
Where, what?
Get on YouTube, dude. Get on fucking TikTok.
I think we're on different sides of YouTube and TikTok.
No, but you don't see all these like therapeutic healer, Reiki, cupping.
You know what I see on my algorithm?
People using tea tree oil and tantric sex in order to unlock their inner like.
I think
Hare
we're just on
Krishna or whatever.
I think we're on two different sides of the internet because I see like bodybuilders and like gaming stuff. That's all I see on my feed.
Oh, come on. The bodybuilding community is all porn now. It's all literally porn. It's all literally porn.
Well, so when you look at like a lot of the,
it's
that's
like
a whole different.
5% dudes doing this, and then it's like 95% like I'm in a thong. I've got a butt plug in.
I'm sorry, what?
There's like a dumbbell in the background, but I'm just kind of like spinning around, being like.
Yeah, I think it's a whole different conversation within itself because I think the over-sexualization going on in the world in general is kind of just bleeding into other things.
Because it's money. It's easy.
Yeah, it's
the easiest way to trick idiots is like being like, are you horny now? Paris Hilton's naked eating a fucking Whopper on the hood of a car. Are you fucking giving me your money? And a lot of people are like, yeah, I'm horny and I'm hungry.
Take my money.
I'm too...
Yeah.
And so I think that everything... the internet... Snapchat letting people send money over it. TikTok.
Wait, what?
There's just this whole
You can send money over Snapchat?
There's this whole feedback loop of like it being valuable to be like, dude, there's like a whole wave of like female artists that are like softly strippers. And I'm not even saying that like in like an insult. Like it's like Cardi B and Ice Spice are fine, but it is like they're practically just like strippers. Like
it's very high.
They like literally like get naked on stage type shit. It's like
Cardi B used to be a stripper.
Yeah, like it's like I don't know.
It's interesting.
It's a weird.
I don't know how we got from talking about anime to the over sexualization in America, but that is crazy.
Well, because because this movie is such a weird vibe. Because if you look at it as a teacher having like conflict with mentoring a kid, and the kid is clearly getting emotionally attached to the teacher, which happens all the time. Yeah. And I feel like I bet every high school teacher has had a student fall in love with them, or every reasonably like.
I was gonna say I don't think it's
every reasonably young high school teacher I bet has had like one student who like fell in love with them. Yeah. Just because teenagers are dumbasses who have bonding issues, and a lot of them don't have parents and shit. It's, this person's nice to me, and they say I'm super duper. So I'm gonna fucking. What else am I gonna do?
What would you rate this movie out of the Rose Gallery of Makoto Shinkai movies?
Now we're getting into the shit. So let's. So what are all the options? We've got. For me, it's Children Who Chase Lost Voices.
Yeah, that's still number one for me too. I'm not gonna lie.
This.
Really.
Voices, or not Voice of a Distant Star. A Place Promised in Our Early Days.
We doing 5 centimeters?
I think 5 centimeters is still at the bottom for me.
Dang.
I think Voices of a Distant Star still ranks above. Voices of a Distant Star, I can at least admire the muscle. Like, it's like, yo, this was made by like 6 people or some shit. Like, yo, y'all muscled this shit out.
Yeah.
Like, you guys flexed.
I mean, if I'm talking about like which ones I liked, I don't know if I'd put Voices of a Distant Star all the way up there.
But I didn't like 5 centimeters for a second. I don't think I like it. I think I get how, if someone was like, I like it as a romance, I'd say, I'm good for you. I don't ever want to watch it again.
Well, see, I think it's, because my perspective on 5 centimeters per second was like, how you live life affects, and the choices you make affect your long-term happiness more than you think. And that's how I viewed it. Like, I didn't view it as a romance. I think we will view it as a romance because it's a bad romance anime. Like, it's horrible. But when you view it as like a commentary on life and making life decisions that will affect you in the future, I think it's pretty good.
Yeah, no, it's definitely well made, and it's definitely like a good encapsulation of the feeling of longing and distance and growing apart from people. But
As most Makoto Shinkai movies are.
yeah, this one though, this one's about growing close too quick, growing close in a wrong way, not realizing it's like, oh, what I wanted was big mommy, but I thought I had big girlfriend.
Gotta stop saying that. Big mom.
Dude, there's a generation of broken dudes who want to have sex with either their mom or their stepsister, and as a guy who doesn't want to do either of those things, it's weird for me to walk around and be like,
hold on. I thought that, wait.
They're among us, and it's like 60%
I thought
of
that
these
was
people.
a meme. I thought that was like a joke that everybody was, I thought that's like for real?
Yeah, no, it's like a
I thought niggas were joking. I thought it was like a joke.
No, it's like like the largest category of like what's being looked at when people are spanking it.
I'm not gonna lie, we are cooked.
And you're like, oh, they're amongst us. They're here.
They're amongst us.
I don't know who. It's like, oh, you're in this room. And you're like, someone in this room is a big mommy incest guy right now. I don't know who it is, but somebody.
The next room of people you go into, you'd be like, about probably like two people in here are probably one of like big mommy incest guys.
Look to your left. Now look to your right.
One of those people. Big mommy. You just have a whole TED talk. You're talking. You're like, audience, I want you to look to the left, look to the right. One of those people is probably a big mommy fetish guy. That's crazy, man.
But yeah, this movie though, banger. It fucking moves. 45 minutes. First off, perfect length for shit.
So
Why don't we got more 45 minuters out there?
Well, I think in 45 minutes they put a lot in there. Like they got it.
Put his whole pussy into this thing.
They got more done in 45 minutes than I see most movies do in 2 hours.
Yeah, I was literally not bored for 1 second during this movie. And let me also just say, this, for a non-fan, the art in this one.
Oh, it's amazing.
There's a scene where he's walking up and you see the reflection
with the shoe with his feet are coming up like
you see his, and you're like, ain't no need for this to look this good.
Nah, there is.
You're gonna go straight to hell with this.
Somebody didn't see their children for several months animating this.
This looking so good, I'm about to do a cartwheel in my bedroom, Shinkai.
Yeah, but it was
like weirdly beautiful.
I think the strength of the animation is probably what made it so popular when it did come out.
And this movie, I think also, same with the musical cues. I think it began with Children Who Chase Lost Voices, but I think this is the movie where Shinkai locked in his I don't look like Ghibli art style.
Yeah,
and
it's a mixture of like the hyper realistic, very distinct stylized anime.
Yeah, like Ghibli's all soft and feathery. Everything looks like it's made of hair and feathers and stuff. And this, it's like Shinkai's like reflective, vivid,
I think that it's like
super detailed.
Ghibli makes you think of your childhood, and Shinkai makes you regret your adulthood.
Yeah, okay. Yeah, he is all about regret. It's like his fucking nut.
Kind of
like Miyazaki's all like, ooh, wonder. Being in an airplane.
Remember when you had imagination, kids?
Sock'em boppers and gobstoppers.
Yeah, I probably put this like Children Who Chase Lost Voices, centimeters per second, Place Promise in Early Days, this, Voices of a Distant Star.
Whew.
I didn't like it that much. I thought it was impressive.
No, it's Voices isn't the one that got me. It's putting 5 centimeters and Place Promise in Early Days above this.
Yeah, I thought it was a good movie, but if I'm talking about,
I liked Place Promised in our early days, but I've watched that movie twice, and man, when they start talking about like the Gravitron Tower and all this stuff, I'm like, I still kind of this movie's like rock solid.
I don't think it's rock solid. I think it's all right.
This one,
so I'm not saying it's all right. In general, it's a great movie. It's an amazing movie. But comparative to the ones that we're ranking it against, Children Who Chase Lost Voices blows this thing out of the water. I'm sorry.
Children Who Chase Lost Voices is trying to say something deeper.
But it was just a more complete movie.
Like, this movie's like trying to relay an event that I think a lot of people have their first like crush that kind of, I wouldn't even call it a crush. It's like thing that got out of hand emotionally with you in your head. Like it might have been a babysitter. It might have been like a sister's older friend or some shit.
I don't know if that's ever happened to me. I'll be honest.
You never like you just had like a woman that you like fell in love with, and you're like, well, that was
When I
my mom's coworker, and I was 12 and she was 40,
not that
and
I
I didn't even notice that it was like my mom's coworker.
Not that I can remember. Like maybe, I'm gonna be honest. I don't think I can. I just because I was thinking about it. I'm like, man, I don't know. This is kind of weird because I can't relate to it. I'm just like, it's odd. I don't know.
Yeah, I definitely empathize with it, but Children Who Chase Lost Voices is like, I mean, that's like questioning like what's the nature of like beliefs and like
that's interesting though. That's a lot more. That's a lot more interesting than mommy or big mommy, big GF. Okay.
Yeah, but for something grounded, I just gotta respect.
I was doing this to mimic the.
For something that's grounded like this, though, I enjoyed that I was never like looking at my watch. I was never like, all right, how much
so
more
I
is
will
it?
say that is a big plus.
He's hitting his stride, which got me hyped.
Trying to hit his teacher. I don't know.
Trying to hit that girl.
He didn't try. There is no
you
try.
You can't be doing that.
There is no try. Only do.
I realize it was 2013 or whenever when you did that, but it's 2023. You can't be doing that now, bro.
Hey, bro, it's a different world 10 years ago.
I can't like. If you do that, we like can't be friends with you.
I'm trying to.
It's not even
I'm trying to think if there was another. I feel like there was another character that did this. Luffy did this. And have you seen One Piece?
Oh, live action yet? No. Wait, Luffy hits a chick? I thought Luffy was,
in Alabasta. No, Luffy got the rated E hands, bro. He does not care. In Alabasta, there's this princess that's like talking to him about something because he messed something up that she didn't like. She slaps him. Luffy rears back.
The blue-haired chick?
Yes, and punches her in the face like hard, where she starts flying backwards, and you're sitting there. And I was like 12-year-old me was watching this like, this nigga just hit her.
Listen.
This is people's goats, bro.
They're on the high seas. The laws are different. No one's got a camera in One Piece. Like no one's
can't get posted on Twitter for doing this.
No one's gonna fucking come for your job when you're a pirate.
Yeah. But I thought it was pretty good. I didn't think it was bad. I think it was definitely one of his more narratively grasping movies, where like the story will grab you earlier, longer. But I just can't rank it above the ones I named before.
Yeah, This I like. I think what's making this carry a lot of water for me is I think this is the first Shinkai movie that you don't have to pay 150. You don't have to be like making notes.
Yeah, that's true. The rest of them, you got like if you're like just watching it on the side where you're doing something, you're gonna miss like 5 things.
You're gonna like it's like wait, hold up, what happens when they integrate
integrate
the neutrino sensors?
I kept having to go back on certain ones where I'm like, wait, what did you say?
Yeah, this one is like it's just so tight. It's so well edited. It's so like there's no fat on the bone that it is like you could almost walk in the middle of this one and it's still like if you get in before Yukino's the fucking song starts playing.
Yeah. It'll probably still hit.
When she's at the top of the stairs and he's crying and she's crying and you're not crying, I'm not crying, but they're crying and I was just like in my head internally, I was like, none of this makes sense, like kind of logistically, that she's like a teacher who's like but I was like, but this is cinema. This is high cinema. I'm there. The music's there. There.
Our students are going to be looking at this 10 years from now.
I feel the droplets on my feet. Like it's like I'm there. I'm in it. I'm there in the dress or whatever.
So what would you rate this out of 10?
This is like a fucking 9.5.
I'd give it like high 8.
You know, if it's weird for me because it's like if you are under an hour and over a 7, I like push you up to a 9 because I'm like, it's almost like, come on, it's 45 minutes.
For 45 minutes.
It's 45 minutes to have this cool story of this like teenager who fell.
45 minutes, I'll give it a 9. But if I'm just speaking about like how much I enjoyed watching it, it's like 8.
And honestly, I think the writing is super tight. I think the music is the best. I think the art snaps.
Well, I mean, if you have 45 minutes, it's pretty hard to write in plot holes with that much time.
Yeah, I think it's like, I wish Place Promised in Our Early Days was cut down to this length.
Yeah, I think that was the example of him doing too much in a movie. Like, too much exposition, too much going on at once. It was a lot.
Yeah, and I mean, Children Who Chase Lost Voices, that movie's great.
That movie's...
But
no,
that third act, you need
hilarious.
a fucking...
Hilarious. Niggas like,
graph.
sacrifice this child immediately.
So everyone is in a different place in that third act doing a different thing.
Yeah.
It's like it's a lot to keep track of. Oh, he's an anti-guardian or something. He's like there's the gatekeepers and I'm the anti-gatekeeper. It's like there's so many twists.
Yeah, but I think it's easier to follow them in Place Promised in Early Days for sure.
Yeah. Still don't really know what happened in that one. I just remember
I'm
that guy getting
still confused.
I just remember that guy biting it when he gets hit by the plane.
He gets murdered by the plane.
So coming up next week, as we're rounding this out, we're getting to the back half.
The back half.
All right.
All the way to the back of the pack.
We have 3 left.
Is your name next?
Kimi no Nawa.
Kimi no Nawa. Okay, so I did cry first time I saw that movie.
Yeah, that.
I feel like if you didn't the first time you saw it, and then you didn't get spoiled.
That has been the elephant in the room since we started.
I think that's what started, because I think we had a conversation about it, and that's what started this off.
That's since we started this series has been like, well,
months Koto Shinkai.
Can the other works of Shinkai build up enough ammo? Can they build up enough resistance?
Is the clip large enough?
Can they put the bricks in the wall high enough to not be blown the fuck away by the majesty of your name? Because is your name a once in a generation miracle?
Yes.
Or is it in light of everything else we've learned about Shinkai, are we going to see stuff that we never saw before?
With the older movies, are we going to see like callbacks to the other ones?
After this one now, where I'm like honestly watching the progression in order, it is like he is getting better with each fucking one of these. Yeah, he is getting radically better.
The two I'm most excited to see towards the end is Suzume and Weathering with You, because those are two I just never saw.
Oh, I've seen Weathering with You, but I've not seen Suzume.
Okay.
So, we got 3 more in this endeavor. But will be a slight delay. I'm going to Ireland for
He's leaving me. My Pookie Bear.
Would you believe I've got 100 hours of PTO?
My Pookie Bear is like, oh, you have to take those.
Would you believe it? This nigga's accrued?
Yeah. Well, I got like 50. I take vacations.
I've never
I take vacations
PTO.
like every 3 months. I'm like, I
never had PTO in my life, and I'm like, I got 100. I'm going to Ireland for like half a month. Fuck y'all.
Dang. My Pookie Bear is leaving me, y'all. I'm gonna be in shambles.
No, but I'll be back on the 16th. But yes.
He didn't catch it.
But yeah, that has been the thing I've been wondering this whole series. Is like, can these hang with your name? Because it's like
I think if one was going to,
instinctively, I want to say it's like your
children,
name.
Children who chase lost voices.
In my heart of hearts, no spoilers. No spoilers for a certain ribbon sequence that might happen. But I'm not gonna lie, when I left the theaters on your name, I was like, this is one of the 10 prettiest things that light and sound has ever collaborated on.
Yeah.
I was like,
visually,
I was like,
audibly, it was a masterpiece.
I saw things I didn't know were possible. I saw shades of purple I didn't know existed.
Things you didn't think could be animated, they animated in this movie.
And so I'm like, this whole thing, I'm like, did Shinkai snap on that one? Or maybe we're just not seeing it. Maybe it's a
repeat.
Right? Maybe it's people are watching Prometheus
maybe
and it's like, you gotta go back and watch Alien 1, dude.
Maybe he's reusing the same rack he used on the table on the plates, you know?
We'll see. Your name next week. Ooh, I'm gonna watch this one with my girl.
Ooh, that's gonna be cute.
It is.
Dang.
Well, catch y'all next time. And
if you don't love your giant robot, why are you watching?
If you loved your giant robot,
he about to cry. He's gonna miss me, y'all. He's gonna forget his giant robot.
You see, the giant robots get so big. They started as just regular robots.
Yeah, they don't
and
love
then
giant.
You see them walk down the aisle as giant robots.
See them walk down the aisle with their flaming sword and their protagonist. that somehow is the chosen one.
Their Bakanetsu Godfinger burning bright as they toss their tassels.
Oh my gosh.
I can't wait till we get to G Gundam. I'm gonna shit my pants. I'm gonna shit so hard.
We're gonna review G Gundam.
Yes, and you're gonna
G Gundam, the show, or
the best giant robot.
The show or the movie?
The show.
So I've never finished a Gundam show before.
G Gundam's the best.
I started Iron Blooded Orphans.
We'll do that after this, as we draw near to the close of
Month Kodo Shinkai. That's been taking what, 6 months?
Dude, okay, whatever, dude.
When did we start this?
It's been crazy.
It has been a crazy year though.
Overtime at work.
Really? Oh yeah, because everything is okay. Well, this is a good point to stop it.